Math learners, Engineer Naxos here to help you to ease your anxiety in math problems as well as to boost your confidence in solving math problems. So let's start with the properties in mathematics. So these are the commutative, the associative property, the distributive property, identity property, inverse property, the reflexive property, symmetric property, and lastly, the transitive property. So without any further ado, let's start the discussion.
Commutative property, it applies only to addition and multiplication, and doesn't work for subtraction or division. And for this property, order doesn't matter. Ano ba ibig sabihin nun? For example, if we are talking about the addition commutative property, for example, we have A plus B. This is also equal to B plus A. Okay? So, whether na ma-arrange natin o palit-palit natin yung arrangement ng ating variable, we will come up with the same answer. For example, we let A is equal to 7 and B is equal to 3. So, kung apply natin ng addition commutative property, we have 7 plus 3 is also equal to 3 plus 7. So, kung kukunin natin yung plus or addition yan, we have 10 is equal to 10. So, we will come up with this answer. We will have the same answer. And then, for the multiplication, so kapag the multiplication naman, we have, for example, we have A and B. So, the product of A and B is also equal to the product of B times A. So, yan. So, A and B or B or A. So, whether na ma-arrange natin yung kung ano yung mauna doon sa ating variable, we will come up with the same answer. For example, gamitin natin to as our value. So, for example, we have A is equal to 7 and B or B equal to 40. And for B naman, so 3 times 7. So, we will come up with the same answer with 21 is equal to 21. So, ibig sabihin, for the commutative property, in addition, we can arrange and rearrange the variable. So, if we have an operator of addition and multiplication. And for the next one, property is associative property. How you group your variables. So, for example, we have in addition muna tayo ulit. So, the associative property is also applicable only in addition and multiplication, and it doesn't work in subtraction as well as in division. Okay? So, take note natin yan. So, for example, we have A plus B plus C. So, this one is also equal to if we group the A and B. For example, in grouping kasi gumagamit tayo ng parenthesis. Okay? So, plus C is also equal to A plus the quantity of B plus C. So, same lang din naman yung magiging value niyan. So, kapag inarap natin yung A and B, kapag inuna natin isolve yung A and B and saka natin siya i-add sa C, okay lang yon. So, kung yung A naman, unahin natin i-add yung B and C and saka natin i-add yung A, okay lang din naman yun. Ang tawag doon is associative property of addition. And for the multiplication naman, okay, for multiplication, for example, we have ABC. Okay, so multiplication of A, B, and C. For example, we group yung A and B. So, inuna natin mo ng kunin yung multiplication ng A and B, saka natin siya i-multiply by C. So, kung yung unahin naman natin is yung B and C, yung product muna ng B and C, saka natin i-multiply sa A. So, ganun pa din naman yung magiging sagot. So, ang tawag doon is associative property. And for the distributive property naman ni class, distributive property is multiplication distributes over addition. Ibig sabihin, kung meron tayong ang example dito ng A plus B, then meron tayong variable outside. So, for example, yung C. Ang ginagawa natin dyan is equal din. Ibig sabihin, i-distribute natin yung C. So, sa bawat variable. Okay? So, dito magkaroon ako ng AC plus BC. Okay? So, ang tawag dyan is distributive property. We can distribute yung mga variable natin kapag mayroon tayong operators. Like, for example, yung addition. Okay? Next one is this identity property. So, identity property naman, adding 0 or multiplying by 1, it doesn't change a number. For example, in addition identity, then addition identity. For example, we have A as a number. Nag-add ako ng 0 dito, it doesn't change anything. Kasi magiging equal lang din siya sa A. Tama ba? So, A plus 0 is also equal to A. So, ang tawag dyan is identity property for addition. And for multiplication naman, multiplication is when we multiply the number by 1, it doesn't change anything. For example, A times 1 is also equal to A. So, ibig sabihin yan, yung A ko, if I multiply by 1, it doesn't change anything. So, magkaroon pa rin tayo ng value, yung original value natin, which is yung A. So, ang tawag sa 0 and 1 rather, ang tawag dyan is identity elements. Okay, 0 and 1, ang tawag doon is identity elements natin. And for the inverse property naman, and we have additive inverse. Pag sinabi natin additive inverse class, for any number of A, its additive inverse is also its negative value. So what do I mean? So pagka sinabi kong inverse, kaya nga inverse, yung kabaliktaran niya. Tama ba? So we have, like for example, a number of A. So ano ba ang kabaliktaran niya? Ang kabaliktaran niya is negative value. So for example, ang inverse value ng A is negative A. Tama ba? So kabaliktaran ng A is yung negative A. So kapag pinag-add natin yung A plus negative A, magkakaroon tayo ng 0. So nakatatandaan natin kanina, ang 0 is the identity elements. So, kaya siya tinawag na inverse kasi magkaroon tayo ng identity elements. Okay? And for the multiplication inverse naman. So, ano naman yung multiplication inverse? For example, we have a number of A. And then, kukunin natin yung inverse property niya. And we know the inverse property of A is 1 over A. So if we multiply the value is on its reciprocal, we will come up with the same, or rather, we will come up with 1. Okay? For example, if we multiply A times 1 over A, we will have 1. Kung natatandaan natin, yung 1 is the identity elements of multiplication inverse. So dapat talaga class ay come up tayo with the identity elements of additive and multiplication para masabi natin na additive inverse siya and multiplication inverse respectively. Okay? Then for the reflexive property naman, any number equals itself is always equal to itself. What do I mean? Pagka sinabing reflexive, it reflects its number. For example, A. Ano ba reflective niyan? So, 8 din kasi nag-reflect yung 8. So, therefore, ang tawag sa kanya, if the number reflects to itself, ang tawag sa kanya is reflexive property. Okay, for example, 5. Ano reflexive property niya? So, 5 din. Okay, so 5 is equal to 5. Reflexive property. And for the symmetric property naman, pag sinabing symmetric, if we have a value of A and value of B, para masabi natin siya symmetric, for example, A is equal to B, ang symmetric niya is always B is equal to A. So what I mean is, ano yung equal niya, kung naka-equal siya sa B, ganun din, yung B ko, equal din siya sa A. So what I mean is, for example, we have 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Tama ba? So kapag ginawa ko yan, so 5 is equal to 3 plus 2. So we will have the same answer pa rin. Symmetric siya kasi nga, kung ano yung ginawa ko sa kabila, ganun yung ginawa ko sa kabila din. So symmetric property. Okay? And then for the transitive property naman, transitive property, if we have A is equal to B and B is equal to C, therefore A ko is equal to C. Kasi nga, sabi natin dito, we have A is equal to B, and then sabi natin sa another problem, we have B is equal to C. So therefore, if yung A ko is equal to B, yung B ko ay equal sa C, ano siya? So therefore, yung A and C ko are equal. Ang tawag sa kanya is transitive property. Okay? Another example, if we have X is equal to 5 and Y is equal to 5. Therefore, ano yung value natin? So, sa pamamagitan ng transitive property, we can conclude na yung X is equal to Y. Bakit? Kasi both X and Y are equal to 5. Therefore, transitive property, we can conclude that X is equal to Y. Okay? And these are the properties. These properties are important in mathematics for several reasons. So, one of the reasons are this problem solving flexibility. So, dito class, isa sa mga gamit ng mga property na to is yung flexibility natin sa pagsasolve ng math problems. It makes calculation easier and more efficient. For example, we have 98 times 5. So, mentally, medyo mahirap siyang gawin. If we use the distributive property, mas madali siya. So, paano po natin siya gagawin? Di ba yung 98, we can express yung 98 into 100 minus 2 times 5. So, pwede natin gawin yan eh. Kasi 100 minus 2 is 98. So pamagitan ng distributive property, pwede ko i-distribute yung 5 dito sa dalawang number na to. So, 100 times 5 is 500. And then, 2 times 5 is 10. Pero meron tayong negative dito. So, minus 10 tayo. So, therefore, equal siya saan? So, 500 minus 10 is equal to 490. So, mas madali siya i-compute compared dito sa 98 times 5. Mentally, medyo mahirap. Pero if we apply the properties, medyo mas madali siya and flexible in solving the problems. And then next one is simplification of complex problems. It breaks down difficult problems into manageable parts. So mahirap talaga kapag sobrang laki na ng value or medyo tricky yung mga questions. Pwede natin gamitan ng properties yun. For example, bibigay naman ako ng simple problem. For example, we have 13 times 14. So iba nahihirapan pa dito sa 13 times 14. So, para mapadali yung pagsasolve natin, we can express yung 14 into, for example, 10 plus 4. Diba? Mas manageable yung pagsasolve natin kapag mas maliit yung number. So, 10 plus 4. So, gagawin natin dito, 13 times 10 plus 4. So, then gagamitin natin ang distributive property. I-distribute natin yung 13. So, magkakaroon ako ng 130 is equal to 130 plus 52. So, magkaroon ako dito ng 182. Okay? So, magkaroon ako dito ng 182 as our final answer. And for verification and proofs, it helps prove mathematical statement that is true. What do I mean is that magagamit natin yung mga properties para sa pag-verify na mga rules natin as well as yung mga equations natin. Kung tama ba or mali yung mga ginagawa natin. So, yung mga properties na to is sa mga fundamentals to check kung tama yung ginagawa natin sa solving. So, for example, we have to prove yung a plus b squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So, we have to check kung tama ba yung a plus b quantity squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Kung tama ba siya. So, first, pwede natin gawin dito, gumamit tayo ng binomial expansion. Pero paano pag di natin alam yung binomial expansion? Pwede natin gamitin, distribute natin yung, or pwede natin expand yung b, a and b. So, kung meron tayong dalawa dito, magkaroon ako ng a plus b dito. Tama ba? So, yung a plus b, gamit ako ng Pearl method, distribute ko siya dito, then dito, yung b naman dito, and then for this one. So, magkaroon ako dito ng a squared plus ab plus ba plus b squared. So, dito, yung ba, pwede akong gamitan ng commutative property. So, magiging a squared plus ab plus ab plus b squared. Kung pag-a-addin ko ang dalawa to, gagamit naman ako dito ng associative property. So, pwede natin pag-addin yung dalawa. So, magkaroon ako ng a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So, therefore, we can conclude na we can verify that yung quantity of a plus b squared is also equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay? So, verification and proofs. So, dito naman sa part na to, pwede pa naman natin siya gamitan ng ibang way to solve. So, susunod na video na yon. And for the algebraic manipulation, so, isa sa mga reason and key reasons na bakit importante yung properties is to manipulate yung mga algebraic expressions natin. It helps rearrange equations and also it makes solving variable much easier. For example, we have 2 times x plus 3 is equal to 14. So dito, madali pa lang yung example natin. Paano pagka humirap na siya? So for example madali mo na yung example. For example, we distribute this one. So may kakaroon ako ng 2x plus 6 is equal to 14. And then, sa pamagitan ng associative property, pagsamahin natin yung mga magkakamukha. I-group natin yung magkakamukha. So, kumbaga ang tawag natin dun is combining like terms. So, 2x is equal to 14 minus 6 kasi kapag nilipad natin yung 6 sa kabila, magiging negative siya. So, tinatranspose natin siya. So, magkaroon ako ng 2x is equal to 8. So, divide both sides by 2. Magkakaroon ako ng sagot na 4. So,
That's it. That's our discussion for mathematical properties, and I hope you learned something from it. Okay? So, see you on my next videos, and we will discuss about the factoring techniques in my next video. Bye-bye!